Joseph Duggar, scores legal win in Florida. Criminal case. In a surprising new development, Joseph Duggar has reportedly scored a major legal win in Florida, and fans are now trying to understand exactly what happened behind the scenes. The headline has sparked intense discussion online, especially among longtime followers of the Duggar family, who know that any legal issue connected to the family quickly becomes a topic of public attention. According to early reports, the criminal case involving Joseph took an unexpected turn after a court decision appeared to favor him. While the exact details of the ruling are still being discussed, sources close to the situation say the decision could mark a significant turning point in the case. For many people watching, the biggest question is simple: how did Joseph manage to come out ahead in such a serious legal matter? The case first drew attention when documents connected to the situation began circulating publicly, leading to widespread speculation. Because the Duggar family has remained in the spotlight for years, even a small legal filing can create a storm of reactions. This latest update was no different. Social media pages, fan forums, and entertainment news outlets all began sharing the headline, causing concern and confusion among viewers. At first, many assumed the case would become another major controversy for the family. The word criminal in the headline immediately raised alarm, and some people feared the situation could become much more serious than expected. But as more information surfaced, it became clear that the court's latest move may have dramatically changed the outcome. Insiders say the legal team representing Joseph worked aggressively to challenge several parts of the accusations. Attorneys reportedly focused on technical details in the filing, questioning whether the evidence presented was strong enough to move forward in the way prosecutors intended. That strategy may have played a key role in the legal win now making headlines. What makes the story even more intriguing is the Duggar family's silence. So far, no official public statement has been released by Joseph or other close relatives. That silence has only fueled more speculation. Fans are wondering whether the family is staying quiet on legal advice or if they are preparing to release a statement once the case fully settles. For Joseph, the public attention may be especially difficult. Unlike some other members of the family who regularly appear in headlines, Joseph has generally maintained a lower profile. He has often stayed away from major controversies, focusing on family life and keeping a relatively private image. That's one reason this legal case shocked so many followers. As news of the ruling spread, supporters quickly began defending him online. Many argued that the court's decision proves the case may have been misunderstood from the beginning. Others said people were too quick to judge without knowing the full facts. At the same time, critics warned that a legal win does not always mean every question has been answered. The courtroom decision itself appears to center on a procedural issue, which can often change the direction of a case without addressing every allegation directly. In some situations, legal victories happen because of technical flaws in how a case is filed, not necessarily because every claim is disproven. That distinction is important, and it may explain why reactions to the news have been so mixed. Entertainment reporters are now digging deeper into the timeline. They want to know when the case began, what led to the charges, and whether this latest ruling closes the matter permanently or simply delays future action. At this point, no one outside the legal team seems to have the complete picture. One thing is certain: the story has once again placed the Duggar name in the center of public conversation. Whether the legal win fully clears Joseph or whether more developments are still ahead remains unclear. But the headline alone has already created a wave of speculation, and many are waiting to see if new court documents reveal even more in the coming days. As more details began to emerge, many followers of Joseph Duggar started asking the same question: what exactly was this case about, and why did it suddenly shift in his favor? While official court records have not been fully explained in public entertainment coverage, reports suggest that the legal battle may have been less dramatic than the headline first made it seem. Still, the fact that it involved a criminal filing in Florida was enough to trigger widespread attention. Legal experts who commented on similar cases say that headlines can often sound much more severe than the actual courtroom situation. A criminal case can involve anything from administrative disputes to more serious allegations, and the public rarely sees the complete legal context at first. In Joseph's case, that lack of immediate clarity allowed rumors to spread quickly. Within hours of the headline appearing, online communities dedicated to the Duggar family began dissecting every possible angle. Some users claim the case had been quietly ongoing for weeks, while others insisted it had only recently become public because of new court filings. The confusion only grew because there was no immediate response from Joseph himself. That silence led many to believe his legal team may have advised him to stay completely out of the public conversation. In high-profile legal matters, even a simple social media post can sometimes complicate proceedings. For someone with a well-known last name like Duggar, the pressure to remain silent is often even stronger, since any comment can quickly become national entertainment news. Sources familiar with the situation say the recent legal win may have come after Joseph's attorneys challenged the basis of the case. In court, attorneys reportedly argued that there were flaws in how the charges or accusations were filed. If true, that would mean the judge's ruling may not have focused on whether Joseph was personally guilty or innocent, but instead on whether the case itself met legal requirements to proceed. That distinction is critical. To the average reader, the phrase "scores legal win" sounds like total exoneration. But in legal reality, a win can mean many different things. It could involve charges being reduced, evidence being excluded, or a procedural dismissal that leaves open the possibility of future legal action. That uncertainty is exactly why people are still waiting for more records to surface. The Duggar family's history with public scrutiny adds another layer to the story. Over the years, their family name has repeatedly attracted intense media coverage, and many critics have questioned whether any new controversy will impact their already fragile public image. Because of that history, this case has become much bigger than just Joseph himself. Some fans have pointed out that Joseph has rarely been the center of family scandals. Compared with other relatives who have made headlines in the past, he has often been viewed as one of the quieter members of the family. That reputation made the criminal case even more shocking, with some supporters insisting there must be more to the story than what was initially reported. At the same time, critics have argued that public figures should not receive automatic sympathy simply because they are famous. They say the legal system must be allowed to run its course, and that a favorable court decision is only one part of a much larger process. This debate has kept the story trending across entertainment pages and social media discussions. Meanwhile, reporters continue searching for the original court documents to determine what exactly led to the filing. In many celebrity-related legal cases, initial headlines can leave out important details that later change public perception completely. That may be what happens here as well. The more records become available, the clearer the full story may become. For now, Joseph's legal win has created more questions than answers. Was the case dismissed entirely? Was it a temporary ruling? Prosecutors try again? These are the questions fans are now asking, and until someone close to the family speaks publicly, speculation is likely to continue. As the story continues to unfold, the legal victory for Joseph Duggar may have broader consequences than many initially expected. What started as a shocking headline about a criminal case in Florida has now turned into a major discussion about public perception, media coverage, and how quickly stories involving famous families can spiral online. One of the biggest reasons this case attracted so much attention is the Duggar family's long-standing connection to reality television. Their lives have been followed for years, meaning even a minor legal issue can become headline news within hours. In Joseph's case, the phrase "criminal case" alone was enough to cause immediate concern among both supporters and critics. As more commentators weighed in, some began suggesting that the headline may have exaggerated the seriousness of the situation. That happens often in entertainment media, where dramatic wording can attract more clicks than the actual details of the court filing. If the legal win came from a technical dismissal or procedural error, the real story may be far less sensational than many assumed. Still, the emotional impact on Joseph and his family could be significant. Even when someone receives a favorable ruling, the public stigma attached to legal trouble can linger. Friends, followers, and even casual viewers may remember the accusation, but never hear about the final resolution. That can create lasting damage to someone's reputation, even after a courtroom victory. For the Duggar family, managing that public image has always been complicated. Every new headline revives old controversies, and many people immediately connect one family member's situation to the family's past. That means Joseph's case may affect not only him personally, but also how the entire family is discussed in the media moving forward. Some entertainment analysts believe the silence from Joseph's side may be intentional for another reason: protecting privacy. If the case is truly over, his legal team may feel there is no need to publicly address it and risk extending the news cycle. In many cases, staying quiet allows media interest to fade more quickly than issuing a statement that invites fresh questions. However, that strategy can also backfire. When public figures remain silent, online speculation often fills the gap. Rumors grow, unverified claims spread, and social media users begin creating their own theories. That appears to be exactly what is happening now, as many fans continue debating whether the case involved a misunderstanding, a legal technicality, or something more serious that has not yet been fully revealed. Another important factor is whether additional documents become public. Court cases often involve filings that may not be immediately accessible to reporters. If more paperwork surfaces in the coming days, the public may finally understand what led to the charges and why the judge ruled in Joseph's favor. Until then, much of the story remains based on limited information. For supporters of Joseph, the legal win is being seen as proof that people rushed to judgment too quickly. Many have argued that headlines should not be trusted without reading the full facts, and they believe the ruling shows the importance of waiting for the legal process to play out. Others remain cautious, pointing out that one court decision does not always close a case permanently. At this stage, the most likely outcome is continued public interest, until either Joseph or someone close to the family speaks out. A statement, an interview, or even a new court filing could dramatically shift the conversation once again. For now, the story remains one of the most talked about Duggar-related headlines in recent days. Whether this legal victory marks the final chapter or just the beginning of a larger story is still unknown. But one thing is clear: the headline has already captured massive attention, and fans will be watching closely for any new update involving Joseph Duggar and this unexpected Florida court case.